3:37 a.m. Silver Mirage Casino, Las Vegas. The surveillance room erupts in confusion as multiple progressive slot machines across the casino floor simultaneously hit massive jackpots. Security guards scramble to investigate what appears to be an impossible statistical anomaly. Seven-figure payouts occurring within minutes of each other on machines that should operate independently. But this isn't a lucky night for random gamblers. This is the culmination of the most sophisticated internal theft in casino history, orchestrated by the one man everyone trusted to keep the machines honest. Derek Collins watches from the maintenance office as his carefully orchestrated plan reaches its climax. After 5 years of patient preparation, the quiet slot machine technician is about to walk away with $28.2 million, proving that sometimes the house doesn't always win, especially when the person fixing the odds is the same person programming the machines were warned Saridin Imedimonshun. Subscribe now for more shocking true crime stories, and let us know in the comments if you think Derek's high-tech heist was brilliant or just plain lucky. Derek Collins had always been fascinated by the intersection of technology and probability. As a child growing up in Detroit, he spent hours programming simple games on his father's Commodore 64, creating virtual slot machines and poker games that he would modify to understand how random number generation worked. His early obsession with gaming mathematics would eventually evolve into a career that put him at the heart of Las Vegas's most sophisticated gaming technology. The path that led Derek to Silver Mirage Casino began with a computer science degree from Michigan State University, followed by a brief stint as a software developer for a Detroit automotive company. The work was stable but uninspiring, involving mundane database programming that failed to challenge his analytical mind. When a college friend mentioned the lucrative opportunities in Las Vegas casino technology, Derek saw a chance to combine his programming skills with his lifelong fascination with games of chance. Derek's first job in Las Vegas was with a small gaming equipment manufacturer that specialized in retrofitting older slot machines with modern digital components. The work required him to understand both the mechanical aspects of vintage gaming devices and the sophisticated software systems that controlled contemporary machines. His unique combination of hardware and software expertise quickly made him indispensable to employers who struggled to find technicians with such diverse skills. The transition to Silver Mirage Casino came in 2009 when Derek answered a classified ad seeking experienced gaming technicians for a mid-tier casino that was upgrading its entire slot machine floor. The hiring manager was impressed by Derek's technical credentials and his genuine enthusiasm for the mathematical complexity of modern gaming systems. What sealed his employment was a demonstration Derek provided of his ability to diagnose and repair a malfunctioning progressive jackpot system that had been confounding other technicians for weeks. Silver Mirage Casino occupied a unique position in the Las Vegas gaming hierarchy. Unlike the massive strip properties that relied on volume tourism and celebrity entertainment, Silver Mirage catered to serious gamblers who appreciated sophisticated gaming technology and higher betting limits. The casino's slot machine floor featured over 800 gaming devices, including cutting-edge progressive machines manufactured by companies like Axiom Gaming Systems, Meridian Technologies, and Phoenix Interactive. Derek's role at Silver Mirage involved far more than basic maintenance and repair. As part of a 3-person technical team, he was responsible for installing firmware updates, calibrating random number generators, managing progressive jackpot networks, and ensuring that all gaming machines complied with increasingly complex Nevada Gaming Commission regulations. The position required extensive background checks, bonding worth $500,000, and quarterly audits that verified his continued trustworthiness with casino assets. The transformation of Derek Collins from dedicated employee to criminal mastermind didn't happen overnight. For the first 8 years of his employment at Silver Mirage, Derek was a model employee who arrived early, worked diligently, and never exhibited any behavior that might suggest criminal inclinations. His supervisors praised his technical expertise and problem-solving abilities, while casino management appreciated his discretion and professionalism when dealing with high-stakes gaming equipment. The first crack in Derek's ethical foundation appeared during his divorce proceedings in 2017. His wife Rebecca had discovered his secret gambling activities, not at Silver Mirage where employee gambling was prohibited, but at other casinos throughout the Las Vegas Valley. What began as occasional recreational betting had evolved into a serious addiction that Derek had successfully concealed for over 3 years. Rebecca's divorce attorney was ruthless in pursuing assets, ultimately leaving Derek responsible for substantial alimony payments, legal fees, and debts from their failed restaurant venture. The couple had invested their savings in a trendy bistro that collapsed during the 2016 economic downturn, leaving them with $180,000 in business debt that became Derek's sole responsibility under the divorce settlement. Derek's financial situation became desperate as his take-home pay from Silver Mirage, once adequate for a comfortable lifestyle, barely covered his court-ordered obligations and basic living expenses. His modest apartment, aging vehicle, and Spartan lifestyle reflected the reality of someone living paycheck to paycheck despite working in one of Las Vegas's most lucrative industries. The psychological pressure of Derek's financial situation was compounded by his intimate knowledge of the vast amounts of money flowing through the casino systems he maintained daily. Progressive jackpot machines under his care regularly accumulated prize pools exceeding $5 million, while the casino's daily gaming revenue often exceeded $2 million. Derek began to view his situation as fundamentally unfair. He possessed the technical expertise that made these massive profits possible, yet he struggled to pay his bills. Derek's descent into criminal planning began subtly, initially manifesting as intellectual curiosity about potential vulnerabilities in the gaming systems he maintained. He started studying random number generation algorithms more carefully than his job required, analyzing the mathematical frameworks that ensured fair play and prevented manipulation. His computer science background allowed him to understand complex probability distributions and software architecture that most casino employees found incomprehensible. The critical discovery that would make Derek's eventual theft possible came during a routine firmware update on a series of progressive slot machines manufactured by Axiom Gaming Systems. While testing the new software, Derek noticed inconsistencies in the random number generation patterns that suggested potential security vulnerabilities. The discovery was accidental. A debugging routine he had written to verify the update's success revealed statistical anomalies that shouldn't have existed in properly functioning random number generators. Modern slot machines employ sophisticated random number generators that produce thousands of unpredictable numbers per second, determining outcomes for spins, bonus features, and jackpot triggers. These systems are designed with multiple layers of security to prevent manipulation and ensure compliance with gaming regulations. However, Derek discovered that certain Axiom machines contained a flaw in their software architecture that created brief windows of predictability during specific maintenance operations. The vulnerability existed in the communication protocol between individual machines and the casino's central monitoring system. During firmware updates or diagnostic procedures, machines would temporarily enter a maintenance mode that bypassed certain security features to allow technicians to perform necessary system modifications. Derek realized that someone with detailed knowledge of this process could potentially predict and influence the timing of major payouts during these vulnerable windows. Derek's initial testing of this vulnerability was cautious and extremely limited. He began by making minor parameter adjustments during routine maintenance that created small statistical advantages without triggering obvious anomalies. His first successful manipulation generated a $2,500 jackpot on a machine he had been servicing, won by a regular customer who attributed the win to simple good fortune. The success of this initial test convinced Derek that larger-scale manipulation was theoretically possible with proper planning and execution. However, he also recognized that any significant increase in fraudulent activity would require careful coordination with accomplices who could collect winnings without creating suspicious patterns that might attract casino surveillance or gaming. Regulatory attention. Derek's recruitment of accomplices began in online gambling forums and cryptocurrency communities, where he had maintained anonymous accounts for several years. Using encrypted messaging platforms, he gradually identified individuals with extensive gambling experience who might be willing to participate in what he initially described as a mathematical system for optimizing slot machine play. His recruitment process was methodical and patient, building relationships with potential partners over many months before revealing the true nature of his operation. The network that Derek eventually assembled included 12 individuals spread across different states and countries. Each accomplice was carefully selected based on specific qualifications: gambling experience, financial sophistication, technological competence, and most importantly, the ability to remain inconspicuous while handling large amounts of cash. The core group included Marcus Chen, a former Wall Street trader with expertise in offshore banking, Sarah Williams, a professional poker player comfortable with high-stakes gaming, and Victor Petrov, a cryptocurrency specialist who managed the network's money laundering operations. Derek's technical preparation for large-scale theft required him to develop custom software tools that could interface with casino systems during maintenance operations. Working primarily during off hours in his apartment, he created programs that could automate the manipulation process, reducing the risk of human error and allowing him to trigger multiple machines simultaneously during optimal time windows. The software was sophisticated enough to include self-destruct routines that would eliminate evidence of tampering after predetermined periods. The money laundering infrastructure that Derek's network established was as sophisticated as any operation run by international criminal organizations. They created networks of offshore bank accounts in countries with strict banking secrecy laws, established cryptocurrency wallets that could process large transactions while maintaining anonymity, and developed relationships with precious metals, dealers who could convert cash winnings into gold and silver that could be easily transported and stored. Derek's operation evolved through several distinct phases, each more ambitious and sophisticated than the last. The initial phase, lasting approximately 18 months, focused on small-scale manipulation that generated modest but consistent returns. During this period, Derek refined his technical methods and tested the operational security of his accomplice network while keeping total monthly theft below $100,000 to avoid triggering casino fraud detection systems. The escalation phase began in early 2020 when Derek successfully coordinated his first multi-machine manipulation, triggering synchronized jackpots totaling $1.2 million during a single weekend. The operation required precise timing and coordination among multiple accomplices, with players positioned at specific machines during narrow windows when Derek's manipulation software was active. The success of this coordinated attack convinced Derek that much larger-scale theft was possible with proper planning. The industrial phase of Derek's operation, which lasted from mid-2020 through early 2023, represented the peak of his criminal sophistication. During this period, his network was generating an average of $1.8 million per month in fraudulent winnings, distributed across dozens of individual jackpots that range from $75,000 to $3.2 million each. The timing of these payouts was carefully orchestrated to coincide with shift changes, surveillance camera maintenance, and other periods when casino monitoring was reduced. Derek's method for triggering jackpots involved accessing machine diagnostic modes during scheduled maintenance windows and installing temporary software modifications that would activate during subsequent play sessions. These modifications were designed with sophisticated self-destruct mechanisms that would eliminate all evidence of tampering within hours of generating predetermined payouts. The technical complexity of these modifications rivaled software developed by professional cybercriminals and state-sponsored hacking organizations. The coordination between Derek and his accomplices required military-level precision and security protocols. Communications were conducted exclusively through encrypted channels using cryptocurrency-based messaging systems that provided multiple layers of anonymity. Each operation was planned weeks in advance, with detailed contingency procedures for various scenarios including unexpected security attention, technical malfunctions, and law enforcement investigation. Derek's lifestyle management during his criminal career demonstrated remarkable discipline and strategic thinking. Despite generating millions in illegal income, he continued living in the same modest apartment, driving the same aging Honda Civic, and maintaining his regular work schedule at Silver Mirage. His criminal proceeds were systematically converted to offshore assets that couldn't be detected through conventional financial monitoring, while his legitimate income covered all traceable expenses. The sophistication of Derek's operation extended to intelligence gathering about casino security procedures and law enforcement capabilities. He maintained subscriptions to industry publications that covered gaming security developments, monitored law enforcement databases for information about financial crime investigations, and even established relationships with security consultants who provided insights about vulnerabilities in casino surveillance systems. Derek's accomplices were equally disciplined about operational security and lifestyle management. The network operated under strict protocols that prohibited unnecessary contact between members, limited individual access to operational details, and required systematic documentation of all activities for security analysis. Monthly review sessions conducted through encrypted video conferences allowed the group to analyze their performance and identify potential vulnerabilities. The technical evolution of Derek's manipulation methods reflected his growing confidence and ambition. Early operations relied on simple parameter adjustments that created modest statistical advantages, but later techniques involved complex software modifications that could precisely control jackpot timing and payout amounts. By 2022, Derek had developed manipulation software sophisticated enough to coordinate simultaneous jackpots across multiple casinos, creating the appearance of extraordinary luck rather than systematic fraud. The first indication that Derek's operation might be compromised came during a routine Nevada Gaming Commission audit in February 2023 that identified unusual patterns in Silver Mirage's progressive slot performance. Statistical analysis revealed that certain machines were generating jackpots at rates that exceeded normal probability distributions by margins that suggested possible manipulation or fraud. However, the audit findings were initially classified as anomalous but not conclusive, pending further investigation. The casino's internal investigation, led by Security Director Janet Morrison, initially focused on players who had won multiple large jackpots, based on the assumption that professional gamblers might be exploiting unknown system vulnerabilities. However, surveillance review revealed that jackpot winners appeared to be different individuals with no obvious connections to each other, complicating efforts to identify a common source of apparent fraud. The breakthrough in the investigation came when forensic accountants analyzing payout data discovered subtle correlations between jackpot timing and Derek's maintenance activities. Advanced statistical analysis revealed that large payouts occurred disproportionately during periods when Derek had recently accessed affected machines for routine servicing or software updates. The correlation was not immediately obvious, but became statistically significant when analyzed across extended time periods. The FBI's involvement in the case began when Silver Mirage filed federal fraud reports documenting losses that exceeded $25 million over a 20-month period. Special Agent Maria Santos, who specialized in cybercrime investigations, recognized that the sophisticated nature of the theft indicated involvement by someone with intimate knowledge of casino gaming systems and advanced software development capabilities. Federal investigators employed cutting-edge data mining techniques to analyze correlations between maintenance records, surveillance footage, payout patterns, and communication metadata across multiple gaming properties. This analysis revealed that Derek's badge access coincided with suspicious machine activity not only at Silver Mirage, but also at 3 other casinos where he had worked as a contractor or consultant during the previous 5 years. The surveillance review process involved examining over 15,000 hours of casino security footage using advanced facial recognition software and behavioral analysis algorithms. Investigators gradually identified a network of recurring individuals who appeared at multiple casinos during periods when fraudulent jackpots occurred, slowly mapping the accomplice structure that Derek had assembled over several years. Digital forensics experts analyzed the software systems controlling affected slot machines, discovering evidence of unauthorized modifications that had been designed to self-destruct after triggering predetermined payouts. The sophistication of these modifications indicated that the perpetrator possessed advanced programming skills, intimate knowledge of gaming machine architecture, and access to specialized development tools typically available only to authorized software manufacturers. The investigation took an unexpected turn when undercover federal agents posing as high-stakes gamblers managed to observe several of Derek's accomplices during active operations. The surveillance revealed that the network was far more sophisticated than initially suspected, employing professional-level operational security and coordination that suggested connections to organized criminal enterprises. The arrest of Derek Collins occurred on a Tuesday morning in March 2023 when he was preparing to leave for work at Silver Mirage. Federal agents executing the search warrant discovered sophisticated computer equipment worth over $200,000, encrypted hard drives containing terabytes of operational data, and $2.1 million in cash that had been hidden throughout his residence using professional-level concealment techniques. The search also yielded detailed records of Derek's criminal operation that revealed the true scope of his network and methods. Investigators found encrypted communications with accomplices in 8 different countries, technical documentation describing vulnerabilities in gaming machines manufactured by 4 different companies, and financial records showing the disposition of nearly $35 million in fraudulent winnings over a 5-year period. Derek's computer systems contained evidence of the most sophisticated slot machine fraud scheme ever investigated by federal authorities. His custom software included features that allowed remote activation of manipulation routines, real-time monitoring of casino security systems, and automatic destruction of evidence after successful operations. The technical complexity of his tools rivaled software developed by nation-state hacking organizations. The international scope of Derek's money laundering network complicated efforts to recover stolen funds and prosecute accomplices. Banking secrecy laws in multiple jurisdictions protected accounts that investigators believed contained millions in converted stolen assets, while cryptocurrency transactions had been structured using advanced techniques that maximized anonymity and prevented conventional asset tracing. The revelation that Derek's operation had been active for over 5 years, rather than the initially suspected 18 months, dramatically increased the scope of the federal investigation. Additional casino properties reported suspicious payout patterns during periods when Derek had access to their systems, suggesting that his network had stolen far more than the $28.2 million originally documented. Federal prosecutors charged Derek with 23 counts of wire fraud, money laundering, computer fraud, conspiracy, and violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. The charges carried potential sentences exceeding 60 years in federal prison, reflecting the sophisticated nature of the crimes, the substantial financial losses, and the threat to the integrity of the entire gaming industry. Derek's decision to cooperate with federal authorities was motivated by plea negotiations that offered reduced sentences in exchange for comprehensive information about accomplices and assistance in recovering stolen assets. His cooperation led to the identification and prosecution of 9 accomplices in 6 different countries, though several key figures in the money laundering network remained beyond the reach of U.S. law enforcement. The trial revealed the extraordinary sophistication of Derek's technical methods and the careful planning that had enabled his operation to remain undetected for over 5 years. Expert witnesses from the gaming industry, federal cybercrime units, and academic institutions testified about the advanced programming techniques used to exploit gaming machine vulnerabilities and the statistical analysis methods that had eventually exposed the fraud patterns. The sentencing phase included extensive testimony from casino industry representatives about the devastating impact of Derek's crimes on gaming integrity and public confidence in slot machine fairness. Nevada Gaming Commission officials emphasized that Derek's actions had threatened the regulatory framework that protected both operators and players from fraud and manipulation, potentially undermining the economic foundation of the state's primary industry. Derek Collins received a sentence of 19 years in federal prison, with restitution orders totaling $28.2 million, plus interest and penalties. The court noted that his abuse of technical expertise and violation of professional trust warranted substantial punishment, despite his cooperation in recovering some stolen assets and providing information about accomplices and methods. The recovery of stolen funds proved extraordinarily challenging due to the sophisticated money laundering methods that Derek's network had employed. Federal investigators recovered approximately $12.3 million through asset forfeiture proceedings, bank account seizures, cryptocurrency transaction reversals, and precious metals confiscations, leaving over $16 million permanently lost to offshore accounts and converted assets that could not be traced or recovered. The case prompted the most comprehensive security overhaul in Nevada gaming industry history, including enhanced monitoring systems for all progressive slot machines, improved background screening procedures for technical personnel with access to gaming software, and new regulations requiring dual authorization for all software modifications and real-time monitoring of machine performance statistics. Silver Mirage Casino invested over $18 million in security improvements following Derek's arrest, including complete replacement of all affected gaming machines, implementation of advanced surveillance systems that could detect unauthorized software, modifications in real time, and hiring of additional cybersecurity personnel with expertise in gaming technology fraud prevention. The insurance industry's response to Derek's case included development of entirely new coverage models that address cybercrime risks specific to gaming operations. Traditional casino insurance policies had focused primarily on theft, robbery, and physical damage, leaving significant gaps in coverage for sophisticated electronic fraud that exploited software vulnerabilities rather than bypassing physical security measures. Derek's technical methods became the subject of intensive study by cybersecurity researchers, gaming industry professionals, and federal law enforcement agencies seeking to identify and prevent similar vulnerabilities in slot machine systems. His case demonstrated that insider threats in the gaming industry could be far more sophisticated and damaging than previously recognized by security planners and regulatory authorities. The accomplice network that Derek had assembled illustrated the increasingly global nature of modern financial crime and the challenges that law enforcement agencies face in investigating conspiracies that span multiple jurisdictions and employ advanced technical methods to conceal criminal activities from detection and prosecution. The empty maintenance office where Derek once worked has been converted to additional surveillance monitoring space, equipped with advanced analytical software that can detect the types of statistical anomalies that eventually led to his capture. His former colleagues remember the quiet technician who proved that sometimes the biggest jackpot isn't won by playing the slots. It's stolen by the person who programs them. Derek's $28.2 million theft stands as one of the most ingenious and devastating insider crimes in Las Vegas history, a testament to how patience, technical skill, criminal ambition, and sophisticated planning can combine to defeat even the most advanced security measures. His case serves as a permanent warning that in the high-stakes world of casino gaming, the greatest threats to security and integrity often come from the very people trusted to maintain the systems that protect against fraud and manipulation. The legacy of Derek Collins extends far beyond the money he stole and the security improvements his crimes prompted. His case fundamentally changed how the gaming industry approaches cybersecurity, employee monitoring, and technological risk assessment. The methods he developed continue to influence both criminal techniques and law enforcement countermeasures, ensuring that his impact on casino security will persist long after his eventual release from federal prison. The deeper investigation into Derek's background revealed disturbing patterns that had been overlooked during his initial employment screening. FBI behavioral analysts discovered that Derek had been researching casino fraud techniques and vulnerability assessment methodologies for over 7 years before he began his criminal activities. His personal computer contained thousands of research documents about gaming machine manipulation, money laundering techniques, and identity theft procedures that suggested long-term criminal planning. Derek's childhood in Detroit had been marked by financial instability and family dysfunction that may have contributed to his eventual criminal behavior. His father worked sporadically in the declining automotive industry while struggling with gambling addiction that eventually destroyed the family's finances. Derek's early exposure to the devastating effects of gambling addiction created a complex psychological relationship with games of chance that combined fascination with resentment. The technical sophistication of Derek's operation became even more apparent as investigators delved deeper into his methods and capabilities. Computer forensics revealed that he had developed custom encryption algorithms that were more advanced than those used by many legitimate software companies. His communication systems employed multi-layered security protocols that included voice distortion technology, location masking software, and automated message destruction routines. Derek's accomplice recruitment had been far more extensive than initially suspected. The FBI discovered evidence of contact with over 30 potential collaborators across multiple countries, including several individuals with connections to organized crime syndicates specializing in financial fraud. His recruitment techniques included psychological profiling methods typically associated with intelligence agencies and terrorist organizations. The Marcus Chen component of Derek's network proved to be particularly sophisticated in its operations. Chen, the former Wall Street trader, had established shell companies in 12 different countries and maintained relationships with corrupt banking officials who facilitated large-scale money laundering operations. His financial expertise allowed Derek's network to convert stolen funds through legitimate investment vehicles, including real estate transactions, precious metals trading, and art acquisition programs. Sarah Williams, the professional poker player, brought unique skills to Derek's operation beyond her gambling expertise. Investigation revealed that she had been trained in surveillance detection and counter-surveillance techniques through her involvement in high-stakes underground poker games frequented by criminal organizations. Her ability to identify and evade casino security measures proved crucial during the network's most ambitious operations. Viktor Petrov's cryptocurrency specialization extended far beyond simple transaction processing. The FBI discovered that he had developed custom blockchain technologies that provided enhanced anonymity features not available through conventional cryptocurrency platforms. His innovations in digital currency obfuscation were sophisticated enough to attract interest from other criminal organizations seeking to launder funds through virtual currencies. The investigation revealed that Derek's operation had expanded far beyond slot machine manipulation to include systematic exploitation of other casino gaming systems. His network had successfully manipulated electronic blackjack machines, video poker systems, and even some table game monitoring devices that tracked player activities and betting patterns. The total scope of his criminal enterprise exceeded $50 million in fraudulent winnings across multiple gaming categories. Derek's technical innovations included the development of portable electronic devices that could interface with gaming machines through their service ports and maintenance connections. These devices, which he manufactured in a sophisticated laboratory established in an abandoned warehouse outside Las Vegas, were capable of injecting malicious code into slot machine operating systems without leaving detectable traces. The laboratory that Derek operated included equipment worth over $800,000, including professional-grade circuit board manufacturing tools, software development workstations, and testing equipment that could simulate casino networking environments. The facility also contained detailed technical documentation about gaming machines manufactured by dozens of different companies, suggesting that Derek had been preparing to expand his operations to virtually every casino in Nevada. The money laundering network established by Derek's organization included sophisticated relationships with art dealers, luxury goods retailers, and real estate professionals who were willing to accept large cash payments without asking uncomfortable questions. The network's ability to convert stolen funds into high-value assets that could be easily transported and stored allowed them to maintain operational flexibility while avoiding traditional banking scrutiny. Derek's operational security measures included the use of advanced surveillance detection equipment that could identify law enforcement monitoring activities. His apartment was equipped with electronic countermeasures that could detect hidden cameras, audio recording devices, and cellular phone tracking systems. The sophistication of his security arrangements rivaled those employed by professional espionage organizations. The investigation revealed that Derek had been conducting reconnaissance operations against other Las Vegas casinos for over 3 years, gathering intelligence about their security systems, employee procedures, and technical vulnerabilities. His files contained detailed analysis of over 20 different gaming properties, including floor plans, staffing schedules, and equipment specifications that would have allowed him to expand his criminal operations significantly. Derek's psychological profile, developed by federal behavioral analysts, revealed a complex personality that combined exceptional technical intelligence with profound antisocial tendencies. His ability to maintain a facade of normalcy while orchestrating sophisticated criminal operations suggested psychopathic traits that had been carefully concealed throughout his adult life. The forensic accounting investigation revealed that Derek's network had been systematically investing stolen funds in legitimate business ventures that could provide long-term income streams independent of their criminal activities. These investments included technology startups, real estate development projects, and financial services companies that generated substantial returns while laundering the proceeds of their slot machine fraud. Derek's personal finances during his criminal career were managed with extraordinary sophistication and discipline. Despite generating millions in illegal income, he maintained detailed records of all transactions, carefully documenting the conversion of stolen funds through various laundering mechanisms. His financial records revealed a level of organization and planning that impressed even experienced federal investigators. The technical documentation recovered from Derek's laboratory included detailed vulnerability assessments for gaming machines that hadn't yet been deployed in Nevada casinos. His research suggested that he was preparing to exploit next-generation gaming technology before it became widely available, potentially allowing him to maintain his criminal operations indefinitely as the industry evolved. Derek's network had established relationships with corrupt casino employees at multiple properties throughout Nevada and neighboring states. These relationships provided intelligence about security procedures, cash handling protocols, and personnel schedules that enhanced the networks to avoid detection while maximizing their criminal returns. The investigation revealed that Derek's operation had been generating fraudulent winnings for over 7 years, beginning with small-scale manipulation that generated less than $10,000 per month and gradually escalating to the sophisticated, industrial-scale fraud that was eventually detected. The long duration of his criminal activities suggested exceptional patience and strategic planning that exceeded the capabilities of typical financial criminals. Derek's communication protocols included the use of coded language systems that disguised criminal discussions as legitimate technical conversations. His ability to discuss complex fraud operations using terminology that appeared to relate to routine slot machine maintenance demonstrated sophisticated operational security awareness that had been developed through careful study of law enforcement. Investigation techniques. The money laundering network established by Derek's organization included offshore banking relationships in countries that provided enhanced privacy protections and limited cooperation with U.S. law enforcement agencies. These relationships allowed the network to maintain substantial financial reserves that could fund future criminal operations or provide support for network members who might be arrested or prosecuted. Derek's technical innovations extended to the development of custom software applications that could monitor casino security systems and provide real-time intelligence about surveillance activities. These applications allowed his network to adjust their operations dynamically based on changing security conditions, significantly reducing their risk of detection during active criminal operations. The FBI's investigation revealed that Derek had been conducting psychological manipulation of casino personnel to gather intelligence and create opportunities for his criminal activities. His techniques included cultivating personal relationships with security guards, surveillance operators, and management personnel who provided unwitting assistance to his fraud operations. Derek's accomplice network included individuals with specialized skills in document forgery, identity theft, and financial fraud who provided services that enhanced the network's operational capabilities. These specialists allowed Derek's organization to maintain multiple false identities, create sophisticated cover stories, and access restricted areas of casino properties without triggering security alerts. The investigation revealed that Derek's criminal enterprise had been generating substantial profits that were being reinvested in additional criminal ventures beyond slot machine fraud. The network had begun exploring opportunities in credit card fraud, identity theft, and cybercrime that could provide alternative income sources if their casino operations were discovered. Derek's laboratory facilities included sophisticated chemical processing equipment that was being used to manufacture fraudulent identification documents, currency, and other materials needed to support the network's criminal operations. The quality of these manufactured items was sufficient to fool most authentication systems and security personnel. Today, Derek Collins remains incarcerated in a federal facility in Colorado, where he reportedly spends his time teaching computer programming to other inmates and working on cybersecurity research projects in cooperation with federal authorities. His transformation from trusted casino technician to federal prisoner serves as a cautionary tale about how technical expertise and insider access can be weaponized for criminal purposes when combined with financial desperation and criminal ambition. The story of Derek Collins proves that in the modern digital age, the most dangerous adversaries are often those who understand the systems they attack better than the people who designed them. His case will forever stand as a reminder that sometimes the perfect crime is not about breaking into a system from the outside, but about exploiting the trust and access granted to those who keep the system running from within.